Hey guys, Kev here, and I'm going to do a knife ramble talking about fantastic knives that could be better. So basically, these are knives, and this will be an open tag if anybody's interested in making a video like this. But basically, knives that I love, they're some of my favorite knives. But what if this one thing or whatever was different? And wouldn't they be even better? That kind of thing. So, for example, I just did a review on the Wingman EDC Mach 3. And what if this knife had tooling on both sides that was T8? I would be so much happier and more comfortable with this knife if it did not have proprietary hardware. That little thing has almost ruined the experience for me. Still might. I mean, it still might lead me to sell this knife because I just am so frustrated with the proprietary hardware. That's how much. But it's one of my favorite knives otherwise. So that's an example of what we're talking about here. So let's talk about the FSD Mini. This is what I've dubbed the greatest knife of all time. The greatest folding knife, I should say, of all time. Which basically makes it the greatest knife of all time. And it's so wonderful, right? What could possibly make this knife better? Well, now my easy answer on all of these would be a lefty clip, right? Because I would like a lefty clip on a lot of these. But I'm not going to do that. What I think would make this knife even better is if it had a DLC handle. Imagine this knife with DLC handle and then this blade and matching hardware to match the blade, right? So you'd have an all blacked out handle with some little satin bits and then this blade. Ah, man, a tux version of this would be absolute sex. It would be so good. I love this knife immensely. It is the best knife out there. Highly recommend the Mini FSD. Yeah, but a PVD handle version, woo! Yes, please. All right, which one are we going to grab next? This one. This is my Transparent Knives Demco 20.5 Reblade. What would make this knife better? Well, you guys know a flippin' detent would make this knife so good. If this knife somehow had, and these might be things that can't happen, okay? But I'm wishing for it. I've actually seen somebody put magnets into their 20.5 and create the detent. When I say the detent, I mean like this Winter Blade Factor that has magnets down here, right? That's your detent, is this magnetic action. But when it's not in the detent, it's loosey-goosey, right? The Demco also has a really loose feel to it, but it has a spring that pulls it in. And because of that, you always have to overcome a certain point on this. And as far as I understand with the magnet thing, the detent thing works, but you still have this problem. And I've actually tested this knife with stronger springs in it to see how that feels. And it doesn't feel better. It just makes it harder to flick, which is not the point of a strong detent. Strong detent is so you get a crisper break. And this kind of defeats that purpose. You end up doing, you still have to flick it as much. It's just harder to do so, if that makes sense. So it's not a better detent, it's just a harder detent. So this, with a nice snappy detent, like imagine if this knife had a detent like this guy. It would be the tits. So that's how I feel about this guy. That would be sick. a full, like, real detent on it would be amazing. The Kanwoo Knives Compact Towel, or any towel for that matter. What would make this knife better? So, a couple things would. A hole would be cool, or just a little pill-shaped hole or something like that. So you could flick it maybe. But the biggest thing would be proper jimping on the front flipper. If they jimped this bad boy up and around and it was aggressive and not kind of this like half jimping, it would be so good. It's already an amazing knife, but you can miss this and it really hurts when you do. So that's something I'd like to see. You know, a bolster lock would be cool or something. A liner lock, just so I could, you know, manipulate it better without worrying about the frame lock. But mostly that front flipper is the thing I would love to see on this be adjusted. But this knife is utterly fantastic as is. The Fox Knives F8 Chillin', a Vox Design, one of the best knives that came out last year. Came out right at the end of last year. What I would love to see in this knife is for it to ship with ceramic bearings. So this knife comes shipped with steel and bearings in it. It also comes shipped, well, it comes with a steel liner lock. So a titanium liner lock would be nice with a steel insert. It does have this beautiful, huge detent ball and that white ceramic. I mean, they crush that, and then they, you know, they use steel bearings. It's very odd how that happened, but the action on this is incredible. Got skiffs in here. That's another one is every knife. If every knife came with skiff bearings, I'd be a very happy man. But for the Fox F8 Chillin', I would love to see ceramic bearings from factory because that was a game changer. Swapping the skiffs, it went from kind of janky to utterly smooth and fantastic. One of the best knives of all time. Urban EDC Vox F5.5 is the best production knife you can get, okay? And that means a knife that's regularly in stock and is production, right? What would make this knife better? Well, a couple things. First, it doesn't bother me as much as other people, but it's grown to bother me a little bit, the clip. If this came with a nice, just a better clip, maybe a wire clip, then I could just throw a lynch clip on it. Or if it just came stock with the lynch version of the clip, right? If they just had Riot make this clip now, from now on, that'd be sick. And then what I'd like to see, two more things. I'd like to see a hollow grind. So I'd like to see like a full hollow on this would be nasty. And then camo carbon options. So if you got this knife with this material on it, I mean, oh my God, that would be the tits. So that's my dream is F5.5s in camo carbon. I know what's going to happen is all of a sudden in 6 months, they're going to have camo carbon. Or fat carbon. It's going to be fat carbon. It's going to be the purple or the blue or whatever, the stuff that, you know, everybody uses right now. Even I'm using it. Camo carbon would be cool because it's a little different, you know. So that's the F5.5. I'd love to see that. How about a little Asher action? So this is the Asher Knife Spiro frame lock. I would love to see this guy with a subframe lock or something like that, so that I could manipulate it a little bit better left-handed. See how Just a little bit harder for me to flick left-handed if I get pressure on there. And then my biggest thing with the Asher knives, most of them, honestly, is the lock bar access. I just want a cutback or a little bit of extruding, or you know what I mean, right here. The way it is, it's almost like this scale is behind this scale. And it honestly might be, I don't know. But you gotta like go in and it's just awkward for me. I like to drop knives like this, and it's just a little bit awkward to utilize. And I don't think it would be a tough change. I've mentioned it a lot, so I don't know. He's done some models with something like that, but yeah. But this is a cool model. I just wish it had a little bit better lock bar access. The NAFSCO Lander, one of the best budget knives to drop in 2022. I did not expect that. And you know what? I'm going to bring out another knife here that I love. The Kubi Royal, the KU321. What would make these better? Better blade steel. These are both in D2. Give me S35EN. You know? Even give me 14C. I'll take 14C, 154. Like, I would have much rather have paid $70 for this instead of, what was it, 60, and gotten 14C. D2 is so bad, in my opinion. It just shouldn't even be on knives anymore. Same with this one. Like, it's a blasted blade. Bead blast blade with D2. It's just a huge red flag combination right there. So, seeing these with a little bit better blade steel would be just fantastic. All right. We are cruising here, guys. Next, we have the Best Tech Tonic. This is a CM knife design, or Collins design. And what I would love to see on this model is for it to drop shut a little bit better for me. I just can't get it to swing down. You see how it came down there? I've tried breaking it in. I mean, I've carried the piss out of this thing. I love the inset ball backlock system, but I just can't get it to want to come down. And I always have to do this. So I flick it, and then I do this, and then I got to come up here. And I've had a couple of these, and I've had to do that with them all, so I think it's a common thing. I don't know if most people just kind of shake. It's probably what people do. They kind of just shake a little bit. Maybe I just learned how to do it. Maybe I was just too much of a pussy worrying about cutting myself. But you don't have to if you line up your finger right, like right here at the top of this notch. It won't get you. Let me try that again. Just afraid to shake it into my finger, you know. There you go. But anyway, that would be ideal for me if I could get it to just drop past. It's just on the verge, man. It's so close to doing it, too. That's just a little gripe with this one. I love this knife. It's one of the best backlocks. The Spyderco Native 5. And, you know, a lot of these things might just be my knife. It doesn't necessarily mean all of them are like this. We're just going through my collection of things that I love and what I would like to see better. And again, I love all of these, right? For the Native 5 here, this is the fluted carbon fiber version with S90V. Fantastic all around. I would love to be able to easily flick this. If I could just flick this and it still had all the other things be amazing like it is, I would be in heaven with this knife. I love slow rolling it and opening and closing it like this. It's a nice little change of pace. But if I could reliably do that, like I have to really want it when I flick it. You see there? Like, I have to really... Ah, come on, Kev. I just did it like 8 times. I gotta get it one more time, right? There we go. See what I mean? If it did that easily, then yes, it would mean the spring is weaker, which I wouldn't want, but you get my point. This is what I want, not what I'm going to actually get. So that's the Native 5. Do I have any other ones? That might be everything I was going to try to make better. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm just kind of looking through my case one last time. Do I have anything I want to change about the Jager M, the Evo 2, the GOM? What would I change about these guys? Let's think real quick. So on the Evo, I think from factory, I would change the detent to be stronger. This is the 2.0, but mine's perfect now because Nathan's Knives tuned the out of this. Has a great detent now. This bad boy is dead centered. Oh, man, it's so good. This is probably the perfect Evo 2, so nothing to change there. The GOM, I have 2 of these. So I have this one. And then I have sort of the reverse version right here. And I love them. What would I change? I mean, I'm sure there's some things I would change. Maybe a little bit better lock bar access, you know, would be cool. The detents are great. I love pretty much everything else about it. I mean, if it was a little bit lighter, I wouldn't complain. Works fantastic left-handed. Oh, you know what? I would love a hollow grind. A hollow grind on this would be a game changer. So we're talking a little bit better lock bar access, and then a hollow grind would be dope on the GOM. Man, every time I put this thing down, I'm like, now I remember why I absolutely love this knife. It's so good. So good. Dead centered. Oh my God, just beautiful. Love that knife. Then we got the Jager M. I would change the I would change that it would be sharpened back here better. The edge termination is atrocious on this knife. I don't know what the deal is with that, but the action's incredible. Fires out. This example is really good. I do wish, I guess, that it was a little more drop shut, like from here down. It's good. It's just like you have to shake it. It's a fantastic knife. I do wish it was a little more lefty friendly. Like it's a little bit tough. Like I would love to be right here flicking it. I wonder what that would feel like. It would feel amazing, I bet. But I have to climb down here to the clip. And it's not hard. It's just, you know, it is what it is. And then one other thing is there's a little bit of a sharp corner right here I would knock down. But these are like stupid things I'm just thinking of. So, one knife that I didn't grab at all is the Trevor Berger Urban. And I don't think I'd change a thing about this knife. It's absolutely phenomenal. I think it's perfect as is. Maybe, just maybe, like it drops like a guillotine and then it needs a little bit of encouragement. So maybe I would ask for it to just swing down. Like right here, just swing down like a chamois. One thing I would say is a lefty version, but I have one coming. He's making the customs now. Basically going to be this, but instead of bronze, everything will be black. The hardware and everything. Oops. The other items I did not pull out are the Jack Wolf knives. And I really don't have anything I would change on the Jack Wolves. Absolutely love the Jack Wolves. So yeah, I don't really have any ideal things I would like to change on these. I love them. And that's it. So let me know what you guys think. Do you have any knives that you would want to change? Do you have a list of knives like me you would want to just slightly alter? Again, I absolutely love all the knives I just showed you. They are part of my collection for a reason. So I just wanted to kind of have this little fun video talking about what if you could do even more, right? So let me know, open tag if anybody else wants to do it. And that's it. I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. And I will catch you later.